Today, we're going to learn about our brains. Now, do you know where your brain is? Everyone, point to where your brain is. Yeah, our brains are inside our skulls. Okay, so my brain is in there, your brain is in there, and they're protected by our skulls. So, brains are a really important part of our body. They're the control center of our body. And learning about our brain and the parts of our brain helps us know about how we learn and how we behave in different ways. So we're going to learn about 3 important parts of the brain today. If you're someone who was here last year, you can go ahead and pause me and see if you can remember those 3 parts. Okay, this poster might help you. If you see these pictures, it might help you to remember the 3 parts of the brain that we've talked about and learned about. Okay, so we're going to start with this big blue section of the brain. Okay, so this blue section, and it's in the front, right in the front of your brain, is called the prefrontal cortex. That's a big word. Let's say it together. Prefrontal cortex. Prefrontal cortex. And it's also known in our class as the wise owl part of the brain. Okay? This is the prefrontal cortex in front of your brain. This is the part of your brain that helps you make decisions, helps you solve problems, and helps you when you're in tough situations and you need to just think about the steps of how to do something. Okay, so let me read what it says here. It says, I'm prefrontal cortex. I help you solve math problems and get to know your favorite book and TV characters. Give me the time to work and I can help you make friends or make the best decision in a tough situation. So this is your part of your brain that's going to help you think reasonably and solve problems. Okay, that's your prefrontal cortex. So we're going to work first with our prefrontal cortex. We also call it the wise owl. So here's what you can do. You're going to do this part of your worksheet. There's 2 sides to it. One side looks like this, and you'll see the brain in boxes where you'll draw a picture. The other side, if you're up for a writing challenge, is just the same, but it also has some boxes for doing some writing. So your job right now is to color in on this paper the prefrontal cortex. Okay, and you can pause me so that you can see right where it is on my paper. And we're going to color it blue, just like our poster here. So you'll use a blue crayon for that. And then, so this says prefrontal cortex, wise leader. Now we're using the owl to represent that. So then in this box, to help us remember that the prefrontal cortex is our wise leader, we're going to draw a picture of that wise leader or owl. Okay, so right in this box. So you'll do the coloring here and draw the picture here. Now, if you're someone who feels like you're up for a reading challenge, you're going to draw the picture of the wise leader here. And then you're going to just write a couple words here to tell what this part of the brain helps us do. So you can write helps problem solve, helps make decisions. Okay, so you can write those kind of things in that box here to help with words to help you remember. Okay, so you can either do this side or you can do this side. You don't have to do both. Okay, so go ahead and pause me. And you are going to color this in and draw the owl, and maybe you'll add some words. So remember, that's the prefrontal cortex or our wise leader. Okay? So you can go ahead and pause me and work on that part. I want you to see that I went ahead and drew my owl too. And so I'm going to hold it up close. So in case you want to see an example of how to draw your wise leader, there's one for you. Think of the shape. So I did circles for the eyes, and then a triangle for the beak, and then I did these wings. Put a little curve there. And you can add some details. Okay, so it's your prefrontal cortex and your wise leader. Okay. All right. Okay, we're going to talk about this green part next. It's called the hippocampus. This part of your brain It helps some other parts, but one of its main jobs is to store memories for you. So in our class, we call it it's the memory saver, or like a scrapbook. A scrapbook, like I have scrapbooks that I keep pictures in, so that I can look back at those pictures, and it helps me remember all these fun times that I had. So that's kind of, see, this picture here is of a scrapbook, and that's like an image that we'll use for the hippocampus. The scrapbook part of your brain helps us remember things. Okay, let me read to you what it says in our poster. I'm hippocampus, and I'm like a scrapbook in your brain. I save everything that you want to remember, from your ABCs to the names of all the people in your family. When something happens to make you smile, I'll save that as a happy memory. So when everything's working right in your brain, this is where your memories get stored, right in here, in the hippocampus. So we're going to do that part of our paper now. So you can see I colored this in here with a green right here along the edge. Not that whole white part, but just about half of it that you can see. And then I drew a scrapbook, the memory keeper. You can see you can do like a rectangle type shape. And I drew some pictures to add in there to show that it's like a memory saver. Those pictures are showing memories. Okay, so go ahead and pause me. And you're going to work on the hippocampus. Oh, by the way, let's say that word together. Hippocampus. Like a hippo, right? Hippocampus. Yeah, that's the scrapbook part of our brain. Okay, so pause me and go ahead and work on that. Okay. Oh, one thing I also wanted to say is if you were someone who is doing the writing part, you'd also want to write the words about what the hippocampus part of the brain helps us with. So helps us store memories. We're ready to talk about the third part of the brain. That's these pink parts right here. That's the amygdala. And I can show you, I colored it on mine. It might be easier to see if I hold it up. You can see the one side of it is here, this pink part. The other side would be on the other side of the brain. So we can't see it because we're only seeing one side of the brain here. So let's say that word, amygdala. Amygdala. Now, that's your part of your brain that's going to sense danger. The amygdala filters things that come in through your senses, like sight, smell, taste, touch. Your amygdala filters those things. And if the amygdala senses danger, it's going to protect you. Okay. It's going to put your body into a state where you're ready to run or freeze. Or even maybe fight back if you have to, if it's real dangerous, say an animal were attacking you or something. So that's the amygdala. And that part of the brain we call the guard dog. So I'll read to you what it says. I'm amygdala, and I'm here to keep you safe. I react fast. If there's serious danger, I'll help you run, freeze, or fight back. So your amygdala reacts just like that. This part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex that we talked to before, is a slower, helping you think and make a decision and think about different options. This part of your brain is just going to react. This is not the part where you're going to think about, what's the best thing to do right now? No, this part of the brain is like, there's a wild bear running towards you. Run! Right? It's just like it senses it. Bear running towards me. Run! And immediately you're going to start running. If your amygdala starts sensing danger, your heart beats faster, your breath becomes more shallow, your pulse goes up. It's preparing your body to run if you need to run. So this part of the brain helps keep you safe, the amygdala. We call that the guard dog. Okay, the guard dog part of your brain. Now I'm going to show you. Please know that I tried my best to draw a guard dog here. It seems like it's really hard to see the pink with the light behind it. Can you see that though? There, maybe that's a little bit better. I'm gonna hold it like that. But
I looked at a picture and I just did my best. Is it okay if it doesn't look perfect? Yes. As long as you try your best, that's what matters. You do not have to have a perfect dog. Mine is not perfect, and I did my best, and I said, hey, I'm proud of myself for trying. So go ahead, pause me, and you can draw that guard dog.
If you're working on the challenge of writing some words too, flip your paper over, and you'll write a couple words about the amygdala, like the amygdala helps keep us safe. Okay? So here you are. I'm going to hold this up so you can pause it. Right now you can see, if I hold it like this, I believe you can see all three sections of the brain, all three pictures. So anything that you need to keep working on or finish up, you can do. Go ahead and pause me, and you're going to finish your parts of the brain. This is something that we'll come back to over and over again. We'll keep talking about the brain as we go through the year. We learn more about how our brain learns. We're going to learn about mindfulness. Okay? These parts of the brain will become really important for those different topics. Okay. Thanks for learning about this with me. The wise owl, the scrapbook, and the security dog or the guard dog. These are all here to help us as we learn and as we have